response, the PM stressed that family ties would not protect anyone from scrutiny and any wrongdoing uncovered will be dealt with appropriately. As scrutiny intensifies over controversial procurement practices within the Ministry of Defense, PM Bresenia comes out on the defense denying any connection to meat masters. Cracking down on public spending, the Bresenia administration introduces reforms to expose and prevent procurement abuse. And the MSME Roadshow arrives in Orange Walk. These are some of the stories we have for you tonight in our newscast for Thursday, July 9th, 2026.
There's going to be 5 modules that we will be looking at. The first one would be the duties of traffic wardens, power of arrest, and the legislative amendments as it relates to DUI. The second module looks at report writing, and then we look at motorcycle helmets and its standards. On Wednesday, we look at the proper use of breathalyzers, and then we'll do some training related to that. On Thursday, we then look at electronic evidence as it relates to the changes in legislation and the use of the body cams and dash cams. And on Friday, of course, we'll be doing a simulation on a case file preparation.
Please remember, the rules are there for a reason. The regulations are there for a reason. It's not to bypass them. It's to ensure that you protect the citizens of Glaze.
We're not here to just teach you. We're also here to learn from you. You are the ones who are on the streets every day doing traffic enforcements. So you know what are the issues that affects you and should be able to guide us so that we can correct those issues.
At the beginning, it was a bit challenging because it sounded so good and so promising that I think people were reluctant in embracing the idea. But after 2 years in this NHI program, the perception of people and the usage of people for the services that we offer is very much appreciated. And the people are using all the services that we have. And our population has grown a lot. We actually have registered, which by the way I have to mention this, we never expected to grow this fast. We are at 12,000 and plus registered patients with us right now. And the numbers are growing on a daily basis, I would say. For the general physicians and the specialists that include the gynecologist, the pediatrician and the internist. And now we have a nutritionist, it's $2, which is very accessible to people. And when it comes to the laboratory or the images, it's just a 10% cost that they pay for the whole service that is offered. If we have a healthy community, then I would say that the whole country itself is going to benefit from it, because a healthy community is going to be successful economically as a whole. That is my vision of the NHI. Its service, its purpose.
Gather your friends and watch the World Cup at Lamanai Riverside Retreat. Every game, every goal, every day. Watch the world's biggest football celebration right here at Lamanai Riverside Retreat.
The biggest Soccer season is here. Are you ready to experience the front row from home? Experience stadium level immersion with Samsung's latest technology. Perfect for every room. Your favorite Crystal UHD and QLED smart TVs are ready for you. Now at the best price. From your 32-inch personal fan zone at just $369 to the massive 85-inch home stadium experience for only $2,579. We have the perfect upgrade for every fan. Get yours with confidence at Cellular World, the authorized distributor in Belize, and receive a 1-year warranty. Visit us today and take advantage of these promotions. Valid until June 15th. Upgrade to the front row at home. Experience with Samsung and Cellular World.
Good evening with your news also simulcast on Fiesta FM 106.7. I am Joanna Rodriguez. A growing controversy over government spending has deepened after Smart Stream payment records revealed that nearly $250,000 in public funds were allegedly paid to Prime Minister John Briceño's brother, Javier Briceño, and his girlfriend, raising new questions about transparency, oversight, and accountability within government operations. The disclosures, which have captured widespread public attention, come as the Ministry of National Defense and Border Security undergoes a sweeping audit into procurement and payment practices stretching back nearly a decade to 2015. Investigators are examining whether government funds were properly allocated, whether established procedures were followed, and whether any individuals benefited improperly from public resources. The revelations have placed renewed pressure on the Briceño administration to provide answers as concerns grow over potential conflicts of interest and the need for greater accountability in the handling of taxpayers' money. Facing mounting scrutiny, Prime Minister John Briceño today defended his government's decision to allow the audit to continue, insisting that the process must uncover the truth regardless of where the findings lead. The Prime Minister stressed that family ties would not protect anyone from scrutiny and that any wrongdoing uncovered by the investigation will be dealt with appropriately.
As I said, Javier Briceño is my brother, and I'll repeat again that I've been very clear when the Auditor General did any, we've asked the Auditor General to do an investigation, an audit, on anything that is fine, that is wrong. People have to answer. I don't care who it is. If it's my brother, he has to answer. Now, if you want to ask me if I know about the details of what he gets or not, I really don't know. You need to speak with Javier. But I will repeat again, I don't know what they got. And the investigation will show when doing it wrong, they have to answer. Period. But what they got and what they get, I really do not know. Not even my brother Jaime, none of us know. That is what it is. So I don't want to make that clear, no?
As investigators continue combing through years of procurement records, the controversy is expected to remain under close public watch, with the outcome of the audit potentially carrying significant implications for government accountability and public trust. As scrutiny intensifies over controversial procurement practices within the Ministry of Defense, Prime Minister John Briceño has firmly denied any connection to Meat Masters, a company located here in Orange Walk at the corner of Cinderella and Fonseca Street that is now at the center of mounting questions over government spending. The Prime Minister's response follows claims published by the Guardian newspaper alleging that a Briceño linked to Meat Masters was his brother. Briceño categorically rejected the assertion, stating that the individual is neither his brother nor a relative and that he has no personal, financial, or business relationship with the company. Briceño also said he holds no interest in Meat Masters and was unaware that the business had been supplying meat or submitting bids to provide meat to the Belize Defense Force. Describing the allegation as false, the Prime Minister said the matter has been handed over to his attorneys. He warned that the Guardian could be asked to issue a formal apology or face legal action over the publication.
I think the Guardian said my older brother, and that is something that I'm passing over to my lawyers, and they're going to be writing the Guardian, because I know that they know better. That I'm the oldest child for my father and my mother, so I don't know where they're coming with that story. I think they're trying to link the last name, but with the two different families, there are no relations with us. I don't have any interest in Meat Masters. I didn't even realize Meat Masters was selling meat to the BDF. So I think that the UDP is trying to grab onto something. They have been, so inept. And they've been so divided, and they're trying to find. They're grabbing at straws, trying to create a scandal when there's none. They're trying to drag me into this. And I repeat one more time, we're not related in any which way. It's a different Briseño. They have Briseños in PG, they have Briseños in San Ignacio, they have Briseños, I think, in Corozal and Orange Walk, and Briseños in Child Farm, and most of them, we're not related. So I think the Guardian will definitely have to apologize, and quite likely we might decide, depending what my attorneys advise, maybe taking legal action against him.
So just to clarify, Gabriel Briseño, that's not your brother, and you do not know him.
He's not only he's not my brother, and he's no relative of mine.
The denial comes as public attention remains fixed on the company's dealings with the Ministry of Defense, as leaked financial records allege that Meat Masters received 54 separate payments totaling $435,455.73 between April 13th and May 11th, 2026. The records reportedly showed that every transaction was processed for less than $10,000, with approximately $304,000 disbursed in a single day through multiple individual payments. Chief Executive Officer in the Ministry of Defense, Francis Usher, has acknowledged that he is related by marriage to the owner of Meat Masters, the company at the center of questions surrounding procurement practices within the ministry. Despite the disclosure, Prime Minister John Briseño says he does not believe Usher should step aside while the Auditor General reviews the ministry's procurement procedures. Briseño made the comments after being asked whether Usher should temporarily leave his position in light of the reported family connection. The Prime Minister said he has not discussed that specific issue in detail, but emphasized that contracts are awarded through a bidding committee, not by a single individual. According to Briseño, Usher has been doing a good job managing the Ministry of Defense, and said removing him during the review could be detrimental to the ministry, as well as the Belize Defense Force, BDF, and the Belize Coast Guard.
I have not spoken directly with him on this matter. As you know, there's a bidding committee, and I think that this present CEO has been doing a pretty good job in trying to hold the ministry together. And I think it would be a disservice to the ministry, a disservice to the men and women in the Coast Guard and the BDF if we were to remove him. I think he genuinely cares for these soldiers and these and for the people at the Coast Guard, and really wants to do better, or how we can do better. We've been talking on ideas, because the whole process, there's a problem all over. There's a problem with the bidding. There's a problem where it seems that officers, politicians, whoever it is, and the Auditor General will determine that they're trying to circumvent going through the bidding or the contract process by keeping it under 10,000. So there's a problem at the BDF in controlling the supplies, because listen, when the UDP was there, they used to buy, I think, about $4 million a year for food. We increased it to $8 million. And you could ask any soldier, they are eating better than before. And it angers me that all the good that we've been doing for the soldiers is shrouded with this that has happened, where they're trying to circumvent the contract, issuing of contracts, so that they can pay easier. And so it removes the attention from the good work that we're doing, that we're genuinely feeding the BDF better than ever before. And we need to make that clear. We also need to make clear that in most instances, I can't say for anything, I do believe that we were delivering the goods. If you're listening to people like, from the opposition, or the naysayers, so many media, they want to give the impression as if, these people are just getting paid for nothing. They were not. We were delivering. There's the evidence. And if the Auditor General were to find there are instances where people did not deliver, if there is it, and I don't think there is, they're going to be held liable. We are not going to cover this up.
In comments to the media, Usher said Meat Masters was awarded its contract through an open tender process and insisted he did not influence the outcome. He also explained that the BDF and Coast Guard submit invoices in batches and said the ministry is working to consolidate multiple invoices into larger, more transparent payments to strengthen oversight. Meat Master has broken its silence following recent scrutiny over hundreds of thousands of dollars in government payments, issuing a statement aimed at clarifying its business relationship with the Ministry of Defense. The company's response comes after leaked financial records show that more than $435,000 was paid to Meat Masters over a 2-month period for the supply of meat products to the Belize Defense Force, BDF, and the Belize Coast Guard. In its statement, the company argues that recent media coverage and public discussions surrounding those transactions contain inaccuracies and fail to present the full picture. Meat Master says it was established in 2022 to produce and distribute fresh, smoked, and processed meat products. The company states that it has invested considerable resources into developing its operations and strongly denies allegations suggesting any ownership or business ties to the Bresenia family. At no point has there been ties to the Bresenia family, not as part owner of the business nor as owner of the property, the company stated. According to Meat Master, it secured a government contract in April 2026 after successfully participating in the official tender process. The company says it submitted all required bid documents, met the government's procurement standards, and was awarded the contract through the established procedures. The statement also maintains that all invoices presented to the ministry accurately reflected the meat products delivered to the BDF and Coast Guard. As a local Belizean business, our reputation has been built on hard work, quality products, and professional service. We remain committed to conducting our business with integrity and transparency, the statement reads. Meat Master also appealed to media organizations to ensure their reporting is grounded in verified information, warning that inaccurate coverage could unfairly harm the company's reputation, its employees, and the families who rely on the business for their livelihoods. Despite addressing several allegations, the company's statement does not explain the issuance of 54 invoices, each valued below the $10,000 procurement threshold during April and May 2026. The statement also makes no mention of why 35 separate invoices totaling more than $300,000 were reportedly processed on a single day. The government of Belize is preparing to roll out a series of major procurement reforms aimed at improving transparency, strengthening oversight, and preventing the misuse of public funds. Prime Minister John Briceño announced that the administration is advancing plans to establish a central procurement unit, launch a public electronic procurement portal, and introduce tougher penalties, including possible imprisonment for individuals who intentionally violate procurement regulations. Speaking on the initiative, Briceño explained that the proposed Central Procurement Unit is not linked to the ongoing review of the Ministry of Defense. Instead, he said it forms part of a wider public procurement reform program that has been developed with technical support from the Inter-American Development Bank. Under the proposed system, every government ministry would be required to publish its procurement requirements and contract awards through a single online platform. According to the Prime Minister, this level of public access would make it significantly more difficult for repeated payments to be concealed below established spending thresholds, as citizens would be able to monitor procurement activity across ministries.
Yeah, the centralized procurement unit is different. The centralized procurement unit, again, is going to be, it's a legislation. And again, I don't know where this gentleman from Cayo, anyone mentioning him, talking that we go beg IDB to come and help us. We've been working in this for about at least 3 or 4 years, and the IDB were using their expertise, and so we're working together with them. We've been looking at how Jamaica does it. You know, we're looking at how Guatemala. We're looking. We don't have to reinvent the wheel, and so that is why this is a collaboration we have with the IDB, and it's almost finished. And so on Wednesday, on next week Tuesday at Cabinet, the people from the people that are working to set up the Central Procurement Unit will come and make a presentation and explain to Cabinet how exactly this is going to work. And it's going to be more open, it's going to be transparent, and we're going to ensure that we get value for money. More importantly, there are going to be stiff penalties. Not stiff penalties. I think probably even in jail time they told me that if people deliberately try to circumvent the system. So that is one issue, but also the law and the policies. The policies have to be in line with the law. The Solicitor General was there, and she pointed out in one instance there where one of the officials said, well, this is what how we do it. And she said, but listen, but this is what the law says. In one instance, they're saying that the minister supposed to approve and then the law, and then the policy is saying, well, that they don't do that, something to that effect. But there was this conflict, and she said, we have to fix the law. So we've agreed, all of them are going to come together, look at wherever there may be a conflict, wherever there may be something that's not fully ventilated or explained in the law and the policy, we're going to fix it. And I hope within the next few weeks, that a month or two, that they could come back to Cabinet and say, this is what we discussed with you all, and this is how we can fix it.
The reform effort follows a special cabinet meeting held on July 7, 2026, chaired by Prime Minister Briceño. Coming up next, Defense Ministry audit expands to nearly a decade of spending under UDP and PUP governments. Stay tuned.
Here are 4 easy ways to know your money is real. Look, feel, tilt, and check. Look closely at your note by holding it to the light to see the watermark and the note value. Notice how the see-through image completes itself perfectly. Feel for authenticity. Run your fingers over the raised portrait and the bars on the edges. 1 bar for the $2 and up to 6 bars for the $100. Tilt the note to see the hidden value appear. Look for the moving images on the security thread and holographic shimmer on higher denominations. Check closely. Use UV light or a magnifying glass to find hidden images and microtext. Remember, handling counterfeit money is illegal. If you spot a fake, report it to the police immediately. Look, feel, tilt, and check. Know your money. Check it before you spend it. A message from the Central Bank of Belize.
It's easy to sit at home and blame the government for crime. A lot of people do it. Politicians do it all the time. It's like a game. Gang members shooting each other or innocent citizens. Blame the government. Blame the police. Narco players executed because of a drug deal gone bad. Blame the government. Blame the police. Domestic violence turned fatal? Same thing. Every murder, no matter where, no matter why, same blame game. But our children weren't born criminals. When did they become murderers? Who taught them their values? Who taught them about right and wrong? Where are their parents, their families? It's not too late to save your child. It's not too late to raise your child right. Keep them in school. Keep them off the streets. Teach them the value of hard work. Teach them honesty and integrity. Love them before it's too late. Stop the blame game and let's all be the village that raises our children. A message from the Ministry of Home Affairs and the Violence Prevention and Enforcement Unit.
There's going to be 5 modules that we will be looking at. The first one would be the duties of traffic wardens, power of arrest, and the legislative amendments as it relates to DUI. The second module looks at report writing, and then we look at motorcycle helmets and its standards. On Wednesday, we'd look at the proper use of breathalyzers, and then we'll do some training related to that. On Thursday, we then look at electronic evidence as it relates to the changes in legislation and the use of the body cams and dash cams. And on Friday, of course, we'll be doing a simulation on a case file preparation.
Please remember, the rules are there for a reason. The regulations are there for a reason. It's not to bypass them. It's to ensure that you protect the citizens of Blaze.
We're not here to just teach you. We're also here to learn from you. You are the ones who are on the streets every day doing traffic enforcements. So you know what are the issues that affects you and should be able to guide us so that we can correct those issues.
The government's investigation into financial activities at the Ministry of Defense is set to reach much farther than the controversial Mira Millions affair. Prime Minister John Briceño has announced that the audit will now examine the ministry's financial records dating back to 2015, spanning both the previous United Democratic Party UDP administration and the current People's United Party PUP government. The Prime Minister first revealed the expanded scope of the audit during the PUP's National Party Council meeting over the weekend. Briceño said the government wants a comprehensive review of nearly a decade of financial transactions to determine whether irregularities occurred over the years. And today he told us that reports received by his administration have raised serious concerns about procurement practices during that time.
We've been hearing some horror stories. Apparently the BDF at that time dealt with mostly at one company, and there was very little reporting. And so we will ask the Auditor General, since you're already doing this, we're going to go to 2015 and then to see, because this kind of behavior have to stop. We can't continue this one. And I know certainly from my end, we as the PUP, we said we were going to be different, and we just don't forsake. We have to do it, and we have to be seen that we're doing different. So this is a good opportunity for us to be able to fix it. Now, I'm not happy with what has happened, but this only brings it to our mind to say, you know what, guys, this is what we said we're going to do, and we have to do it, and we're going to do it now.
The expanded audit is expected to provide a clearer picture of the Ministry of Defense's financial management over the past decade and determine whether procurement procedures were consistently followed under successive administrations. The government of Belize is preparing to raise its long-standing $10,000 procurement payment threshold as part of broader reforms aimed at modernizing the country's purchasing system. The Prime Minister made the disclosure this morning when he spoke to us, and while he was defending former Miss Universe Belize Isabella Zabani, who recently came under criticism after publicly advocating for an increase to the current spending limit. Zabani argued that the existing $10,000 threshold places unnecessary pressure on financial secretaries and creates excessive oversight within government operations. She described the policy as a system that micromanages everybody from the top down to the bottom. Her remarks sparked widespread public debate, particularly as they came amid heightened scrutiny surrounding the ongoing Media Millions controversy. Addressing the backlash, Prime Minister Briceño praised Zabani for speaking openly about an issue he believes many public officials have privately acknowledged. And in regard to maintaining the current threshold, the PM says it has become increasingly impractical given the scale of government operations.
And I want to commend her and commend her for her courage to be able to stand up and say something that everybody knows, but because of the present circumstances, everybody's afraid of saying it. Actually, under the centralized, on the central procurement unit, that is one of the things that we're going to address. 20 years ago, the budget was less than $1 billion. Right now, we're at $1.8 billion. And there's so much things the government is buying, $400-500 million of services and goods every year. That's not talking, and including, well, when you include roads and so, it goes up even more. And so it becomes almost impossible at 10,000 or below 10,000. So what we'll be doing under the centralized procurement unit is that we're going to increase that number. But unlike now, everything will have to go through one portal or one window. Every ministry have to put what they're doing in there, so everybody will see. Okay, let's use the BDF. The BDF want to be able to, we need $1 million worth of food supplies for 6 months, for instance. And these are the things that we want. And so let's say they increase the threshold for 20,000 or 30,000. If the ministry decide, okay, we'll give a company under that threshold, they'll be able to give it, but they will also have to report it through that threshold to the public and say, this company get $20,000 and did not have to go to a contract. So what has happened where you see one company having hundreds and hundreds of payments on 10,000, it will be impossible for it to happen, because in this case, all of that have had to be reported, and people immediately would have seen that, hold on, something is not going correct here.
The Belize Trade and Investment Development Service, Beltrade, officially launched its 3-day Micro, Small and Medium Enterprise, or MSME, roadshow in Orange Walk Town today, bringing together entrepreneurs and aspiring business owners for a series of practical training sessions aimed at strengthening Belize's small business sector. The roadshow features a business boot camp offering participants the opportunity to take advantage of master classes on a range of topics, including accounting, negotiation skills, social media marketing, and other areas considered essential for operating and growing a successful business in today's competitive environment.
We're very excited. This is our third stop of the National MSME Roadshow. We are here in beautiful Orange Walk, and we are inviting people to come out. We still have time. But speaking on what the roadshow is, we are looking at day one, which we consider to be master classes, boot stamp style training day, which looks at 5 interesting topics on the theme of digital transformation, digital marketing, e-commerce, also introduction to export, and we also have some accounting sessions in there as well. Additionally, adding to the end of the day, we have some presentations by the Ministry of Rural Transformation as well as the Belize Tax Service, making it even more engaging where participants want to find out information on their personal accounts that they might have. The Ministry of Rural Transformation speaking on the trade license regime, knowing a little bit more about that topic itself, and that would be day one.
According to Bell Trades Jorge Gentle, this year's roadshow places greater emphasis on equipping MSMEs with practical skills and knowledge that are directly relevant to the realities of doing business in Belize.
Because for us, it's very important to look at what topics are really needed and demanded by our small businesses. And they're very relevant to the climate of entrepreneurship at the moment, which is being digital, having an online presence. And as I mentioned, we have things like digital marketing, e-commerce. We also have the art of sales and negotiation. How can you negotiate with your possible customers, with suppliers as well? And for those, we get a lot of demand on export as well. So there is an introduction to export, and accounting definitely did something about financial literacy. So for small businesses, these topics are very relevant. We make them very engaging. It's an experiential learning type of session where they're able to interact by different activities, at the same time learning the different sessions, and at the end of the sessions we also provide them with the material.
The MSME Roadshow continues in Orange Walk Town tomorrow with expert-led sessions where participants will have the opportunity to engage with professionals and gain further insight into key business development strategies. The event concludes on Saturday with the highly anticipated MSME Expo, where small businesses from across the district will showcase their products and services to the public.
Actually, Orange Rock has really turned out. We have quite a massive, and you'll be able to see it, quite a massive turnout today. And we still have people walking in as well. And we know entrepreneurs are very busy, so we appreciate their commitment to wanting to improve their businesses by coming to these activities and platforms, such as the MSME Roadshow. They're able to network, learn, share, and at the same time, coming up on tomorrow, they'll be able to actually find out even more information through the formalization agencies which will be here. We have about 25 different agencies coming from all different parts, Belmopan, Belize City, financial institutions, public and private entities that they are able to network with them, find out information, and be able to even register their business if they want to.
I know that the roadshow every year is something that people when it takes place, people look forward to it. Talk to us a little about what we can expect in the coming days. You mentioned a little about day 2, but we have exciting things as well.
Yeah, so the roadshow is a 3-day packed activity looking at 10 different locations. As I mentioned, day 1 is the master classes, boot camp. Day 2 is the formalization clinic with about 25 different agencies. And then we have day 3, which I didn't mention, is the Buy Belizean Expo for Orange Rock. We are going to be at the Orange Rock Central Park. So we have close to 30 exhibitors who will be out there displaying their products, services, making sales, connections on that day. So we also invite the general public to support our small businesses who will be at the Central Park on Saturday as well.
The expo will be held at Orange Walk Central Park and is expected to provide entrepreneurs with an opportunity to promote their businesses, connect with customers, and expand their market reach. Over the past several weeks, government spending and procurement practices have come under increased public scrutiny following revelations that millions of dollars in government payments were made to companies connected to the family of Oscar Mira. The disclosures have sparked a wider national discussion on transparency and accountability within government ministries. This week, Chief Executive Officer in the Ministry of Transport, Chester Williams, was asked whether similar circumstances exist within the Ministry of Transport. Williams maintained that no such situations are occurring within his ministry. He noted that procurement procedures are expected to follow the established regulations governing the use of public funds. When asked for his views on suggestions that the current $10,000 threshold for certain government procurement and payment processes should be increased, Williams declined to offer a personal opinion. Instead, he said that any decision to amend the existing threshold is a policy matter that rests with Prime Minister John Rosenio and his cabinet.
I can only say to you that within our ministry, whenever we get a quotation for something, we would normally process that quotation as is. If there's a need for us to request from the Ministry of Finance for advanced dereservation, or if there's a need for us to ask for a supplementary budget to accommodate what we want to do, then we go down that road. That's what we normally do. And that's all I will say about that.
Do you consider or have you run into problems with the $10,000 threshold? Do you consider that it needs to be increased given all the nuances and bureaucracy in government?
I am not going to comment about whether or not that should be increased. That is within the prerogative of the Prime Minister and his team, including the Cabinet. If they so wish or if they see the need for that to be done, then it's within their purview.
And there is more news after the break. Stay tuned.
I'm very elated. I'm happy because it's a brand new project for Pomona Village. As a matter of fact, if you had come here in 2024 at this time, it's going to be only bush. You can see development here already. So we put in the infrastructure when it comes to roads and drainage. Today, we are going to issue 150 titles. People are very happy that they can go and build a house for their family. I want to thank the Deputy Prime Minister, Honorable Corey Hyde, for the support. And we are here today now to look at this brand new community that will benefit many Belizeans.
I'm happy to get my piece of land and that they have a nice place to live. You have your own land. I appreciate what they did for me. I'm happy for the land. I never expect this would be so early. I thank the minister for the land because for renting it, it's totally expensive. I really appreciate what he did for our family. Like what he said today, it's moving on like from generation to generation.
In many ways, today sets a tone for the months ahead. The theme we unveil this afternoon will become the thread that connects our celebrations across every district, across every community, and across every generation.
We have different traditions, food, histories, but those differences don't divide us. Instead, they have become the story we tell together. And that story is what visitors fall in love with. Our barrier reef, ancient Maya sites, and rainforests attract visitors to our shores. But ask them what they remember most. The answer is almost always the same: the warmth of the Belizean people.
Every Belizean has a story. Every Belizean has something to contribute. Every Belizean, in both ways, great and small, helped to shape this nation.
Sometimes in the rush of daily life, we forget to be grateful. But let us remember, Belize remains a nation that can celebrate many things. Look at me. I am Belize. You are Belize. We are Belize. Let us carry this pride forward. Happy 45th anniversary, Belize.
The Belize Police Department has strengthened its ability to respond to crime and emergencies with the addition of 5 brand new Isuzu D-Max pickup trucks officially handed over today through funding from the government of Belize. The new vehicles are expected to improve mobility and operational efficiency, enabling officers to respond more quickly and effectively to incidents across the country. The investment reflects the government's continued commitment to enhancing public safety and equipping law enforcement with the resources needed to carry out their duties. The pickups have been distributed to key police units and formations, including the Benkevejo Formation, the Roaring Creek Quick Response Team QRT, the Orange Walk Crimes Investigation Branch CIB, the Curacao Formation, and the Violence Prevention and Enforcement Unit. By assigning the vehicles to these strategic locations, the department aims to strengthen crime prevention efforts, improve response time, and support officers as they work to protect communities and maintain public safety. Belize has taken another significant step towards strengthening the protection of children and victims of human trafficking with the launch of a specialized 2-day judicial training designed to equip members of the judiciary with the knowledge and tools needed to deliver more child-focused and trauma-informed justice. The training, held under the theme Promoting Child-Centered Justice, a judicial training on trafficking in persons, restorative justice, and diversion, is being organized by the Ministry of Human Development, Family Support, and Gender Affairs in partnership with the Anti-Trafficking in Persons Council and the Child Justice Committee, with support from the Judicial Education Institute of the Senior Courts of Belize. The initiative brings together judges and other justice sector stakeholders to deepen their understanding of child-centered judicial practices, strengthen collaboration across agencies, and promote legal approaches that prioritize the rights, safety, and well-being of children and survivors of trafficking. The program officially opened with remarks from Honorable Chief Justice Louise Esther Blenman, who emphasized the judiciary's responsibility to ensure that Belize's justice system remains responsive to the unique needs of vulnerable children and trafficking survivors. Participants also received presentations highlighting the ongoing work of both the Child Justice Committee and the Anti-Trafficking in Persons Council. Day 1 of the training focused on key topics such as the fundamentals of trafficking in persons, culturally competent adjudication, trauma-informed and victim-centered judicial practices, effective trauma-informed questioning, and the role of judicial officers within Belize's child justice system. Participants are learning from an accomplished team of local and international experts. The second day will shift attention to restorative justice, child diversion programs, child interaction policies, and practical exercises designed to improve judicial decision-making and strengthen coordination among justice sector agencies. And that's the news. We invite you to join us for another newscast on Friday, July 10th here on Ctv3 News and Face FM 106.7. Remember that to read a text version of the news, you can visit our website at ctv3belizenews.com. You can also log on to our Facebook page for current stories at facebook.com/ctv3belizenews or our YouTube channel at Ctv3 News BZ. From all of us here at Ctv3, thank you for watching and listening. Good night.